Hello viewers, today we shall be talking about the p block elements. This episode consists of the introduction of p block elements, significance of p block elements, and we shall also be talking about the comparative study of the p block elements totally depending upon the occurrence, electronic configuration, atomic size, ionization energy, electronegativity, allotropy, catenation, melting and boiling point, the oxidation states, hydrides, oxides and halides, metallic behavior and diagonal relationship. All these topics shall be discussed in detail. The p block elements are having the valence electrons which are going to enter in the p orbital, and that is why it is termed as the p block element. This block is a home of 35 elements in totality. It is present in the right side of the periodic table and consists of 6 columns. These columns are starting from 13th to 18th group. The 18th group is the 0 group, the elements which are consist of the helium, neon, argon, such type of elements are there. Each group is known with its first element, such as boron family, the 13th group, carbon family, nitrogen family. Likewise, it is the only block in the periodic table having a blend of all 3 varieties of elements, namely metals, non-metals and metalloids. And within a group, I will discuss, you will find that the metals, non-metals and metalloids are appearing with variation in the electronic configuration. From this part of the periodic table, you can see the p block elements are being arranged in the right side of the periodic table. The groups are starting from 13th, 14, 15, 16 and 17, which is under our objective of discussion. This left side is dedicated for the metals, which is consisting of aluminum, germanium, indium, thallium, tin, lead, bismuth and polonium. The green area is just representing the metalloid, this area. This is having the behavior somewhere between the metals and non-metals, starting from boron, silicon, germanium, this arsenic, antimony, tellurium, astatine, and the remaining part which is with the pink color, that is the group of the non-metals, that is carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, then fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, the elements which are called the halogens. Boron is mainly used in the glass industry and pottery using borax, and also in soap and detergent industry. Boron fibers are used in making bulletproof jacket as a structure reinforcing material in spacecraft, and also in frames of lightweight bicycle and speed boats using the racing process. The metal borides are used in nuclear industry as protective shields and control rods. Aluminum has wide uses, aluminum files, cans, utensils. Women's favorite gels like ruby and sapphire is all composed of aluminum. Aluminum is also an important material for aircraft bodies, transportation and construction industry, and in power transmission cables it is mainly used. Carbon, tin and lead has been known to be mankind since ages. Even the oldest known writings on papyrus in Egyptian civilization were found to be of the ink made from lamp-black. That lamp-black is also the allotrope of carbon. Allotropes of carbon includes fullerene, the most modern technology where the carbon nanotubes are being discussed a lot, diamond which is having a lot of strength, graphite and coal are having wide uses in our day-to-day life. The composites of carbon are used in products such as tennis racket, fishing rods, aircraft and canoes. The activated charcoal is used in absorbing the poisonous gases, also used in water filter to remove organic contaminants and in air conditioning system to control the odor. It is going to absorb the gases. The silicon is the new dark horse of this group. Its widespread use in the circuit boards of computers and cell phones and in building and construction material. Silicon is also used in many healthcare, the lubrication of the syringe needles, personal care like cosmetics and in textile industry. Silicon is the second most abundant element in the earth crust. Tools made of flint, which is a form of silica, were used in the stone age. The lead is also a popular element which is used as a coloring pigment, particularly in sindoor, as anti-knocking agent. Tetraethyl lead is being used, which is an organometallic compound, and in rechargeable battery lead has been used in the lead accumulator. Antimony was the first element from this group to be obtained in elemental form and was used by Egyptians for their eye makeup. Nitrogen is widely used as a coolant and in the production of ammonia, which is a powerful disinfectant for bacteria and fungus. Also, white phosphorus is used. White phosphorus is one of the allotrope. It is used in rat kill poison, whereas red phosphorus is used in strike plate of matchbacks. The sulfur is used in medicine, particularly the sulfur drugs are all based on the sulfur, and the head of the matchstick is constituted by this sulfur. Let us come into detail of the physical and chemical properties of this p block element through a comparative study. Let us first discuss about the occurrence of the elements. The p block elements do not follow any set of pattern or mode of occurrence in nature. Some of them occur free as well as in the combined state in nature. The elements like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon and sulfur occurs in both forms. All other elements usually occur in combined state. The distribution of these elements in nature is also non-uniform. The elements like oxygen, silicon, aluminum, nitrogen are quite abundant. However, the heavier members in each group of the block are generally much less abundant as compared to these of oxygen, silicon, aluminum and nitrogen. The electronic configuration, since it is the p block element, so the orbitals of the p block are getting successively filled in a systematic manner in each row. The elements in the 13th group have one p orbital electron, in the 14th group have 2 p orbital electron. The trend is going to continue similarly up to the 17th group, which have 5 p orbital electrons. 5 p orbital means these are most reactive halogen elements which have a strong tendency to achieve 1 electron. That is why their reactivity is very high and these are highly electronegative elements. The outer electronic configuration of the atoms of these element is having a general electronic configuration of pattern ns2 np1 to 6, means s orbital is holding 2 electrons and the p orbital is having the range of electrons from 1 to 6, that is 1 electron in p orbital for the 13th group and 6 orbitals for the last one, whereas the inner core electronic configuration may differ slightly. The atomic size is the next significant parameter for study of the elements in periodic table. Every group, the boron group, carbon group, nitrogen group, chalcogens, halogens and the noble gases have different physical and chemical properties. Let me tell you, this chalcogen is represented the oxygen group. The common properties are like atomic size of all elements in the p block decreases on moving across the period along the group 13 to 17th, means if you move from left to right across the periodic table, the variation will appear in the atomic size. It is due to the addition of electrons in the same valence shell and is subjected to an increased pull of the nuclear charge at each step. That is why the size is going to decrease. In the other area, the movement from top to bottom along the group, that is on moving down in a group, the elements increase in size due to the additional cell getting added. The increase in the nuclear charge is more than compensated by the additional cell. The large atomic size of aluminum especially is due to the greater screening effect because of the 8 electrons in the penultimate cell present there with the aluminum. Less difference in atomic size of silicon and germanium is due to the fact that filling of 3d cell increases the nuclear charge and provides only the shielding d electrons. Increase in the size beyond phosphorus is less in the group 15 because of the effective shielding offered by the d electrons in the penultimate cell. Second parameter is the ionization energy, means the amount of energy required for removal of the electron from outermost cell in the isolated state, that is the ionization energy. The periodic variation of the ionization energy is from left to right across the period, as increases on moving across the period from 13th to 17th group because of the atomic size decreases and the electrons are held tightly. That is why the ionization energy is going to increase. The ionization energy decreases on moving down in a group in p block elements. It is because on descending a group, the atomic size increases. As a result, the electrons are less tightly held by the nucleus, and therefore, the first ionization energy decreases on moving down across the group from top to bottom. Some element at the bottom of a group like lead, tin, thallium, bismuth behave almost like a metal with very low ionization energy. Fluorine is very small and force of attraction between the nucleus and the valence electrons is very high, hence fluorine has a very high ionization energy. So, a comparative analysis is appearing here, as the lead, tin and bismuth is having a low ionization energy, however, the fluorine is having a high ionization energy, and the first one, the lead, tin and thallium, bismuth, these are behaving as a metal, and due to the high energy for ionization, this fluorine is behaving differently. Next aspect is electronegativity, means the tendency through which it is going to attract and accommodate an electron in its isolated state. It increases along the group from 13th to 17th. Elements of 17th group, that is halogens, have maximum electronegativity value, with fluorine being the most electronegative atom present due to its smaller size. After fluorine, the second is oxygen, and then it is nitrogen. These fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen are at the top of the electronegativity value. Carbon is most electronegative in group 14, but values remain almost same for remaining elements. It is probably due to the filling of d orbitals in germanium and tin, and also f orbital in lead. Decrease in electronegativity from nitrogen to bismuth also indicates change, as nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals, arsenic and antimony are metalloid, and bismuth is metal. So, within that group of nitrogen, you will find the variation in the metallic property. Discuss the allotropy. Some of the elements of group 14, 15 and 16 shows allotropy. The properties, as for carbon, it is existing as from the part of the lamp black, coal, come to the graphite, diamond, fullerene, these are all the allotropes of carbon. Silicon exists in crystalline and the amorphous form. Tin exists as grey tin, white tin and rhombic tin. Phosphorus is existing as red phosphorus, white phosphorus and black phosphorus. Sulfur is existing as clinic sulfur, which is having dark yellow color, and rhombic sulfur having yellow color. These are dominating allotropes of sulfur, but the halogen do not show such type of allotropic property. It is the presentation for the rhombic sulfur and the monoclinic sulfur, and this right side, it is the structure of fullerene, which is having a specific pattern of arrangement of pentagonal and hexagonal ring. In the front part of it, you will find a pentagonal ring which is being surrounded by hexagonal rings all around. So, it is the structure of the fullerene. It will be discussed in the later stage in detail. This is the structure of the diamond, which is having good strength and durability. It is the layered structure of the allotrope of carbon, which is graphite. It is having 3.36 angstrom of the distance between the two consecutive layer. The hexagonal rings are combined together. The weak van der Waals forces are going to attach these layers together, and this is the reason how the one of the layer is going to slide over another. Anyway, let us see the another periodic property of this block. This is the catenation. Catenation is the ability to form compounds in which the atoms are linked to each other in chains or rings, that is the catenation. In the 14th group, it is very rich on this aspect of the catenation. Carbon has a very strong tendency to combine with other carbon atoms to form quite large carbon structures. Silicon also undergoes catenation in the 14th group. The 15th group also exhibits the property of catenation. Nitrogen and phosphorus have a tendency to form this type of links. In 16th group of oxygen, S8, the sulfur, is an example of catenation, but the halogens are not showing such type of property. It is the presentation for the catenation, how the carbon atoms are combining together to form the long chain, and the chains are getting attached together laterally and linearly. So, such type of catenation property is being seen with the carbon. Melting and boiling point is the another property. In the 13th group, melting point decreases from boron to gallium and then increases up to thallium. a slight variation is being appealed in the 13th group. The low melting point of gallium is explained on the basis that gallium is diatomic in nature. Heat of sublimation and boiling point shows a steady decrease. In 14th group, the melting point decreases down the group from carbon to tin, and again a slight variation, a slight increase is being seen for lead. This is the pattern of melting points seen for the p block elements from 13th group to the 17th group. This is the 17th group, and this portion is representing the metals from aluminum to this corner of polonium. This is the metallides from boron to this tellurium, and this is the non-metals from nitrogen to this astatine. In fact, the astatine is not well established about its properties. The values are given in Kelvin scale for the melting and boiling point. In 15th group, melting and boiling point increases as we move down the nitrogen group, but bismuth has an exceptionally low melting point due to the non-availability of the s electrons. In 16th group, with increase in atomic number down the group, there is an increase in melting point and boiling point. In 17th group of halogen, melting and boiling point uniformly increases from fluorine to iodine. Gallium in the 13th group is a metal that can melt in palm of a hand because it consists of gallium 2 diatomic molecules. Gallium remains liquid up to 2276 Kelvin, and this property, this specific property of the gallium makes it to be used in high temperature thermometer. Property of oxidation state, since boron is very small in this family of 35 elements, boron is having very small size, and it has high ionization energy and does not lose all 3 valence shell electrons. So, it cannot form B plus 3 ion, the tripositive boron ions, and aluminum forms plus 3 ions. However, gallium, indium and thallium shows plus 1 and plus 3 oxidation states. Carbon and silicon shows plus 4 oxidation state, while germanium, tin and lead shows plus 2 and plus 4 oxidation states. In the group of nitrogen, nitrogen itself exhibits a wide range of oxidation states. It ranges from minus 3 up to the plus 5 oxidation state. Because of the inert pair effect increases from nitrogen to bismuth, the stability of the plus 3 oxidation state increases. Conversely, the plus 5 oxidation state decreases from nitrogen to bismuth. The bismuth has a plus 3 oxidation state, and the plus 3 oxidation state is also prevalent in antimony, which forms plus 3 ions easily by losing the 3 electrons. In the next group of chalcogens, oxygen shows predominantly the minus 2 oxidation state, selenium, polonium and sulfur shows plus 2, plus 4 and plus 6 states also. Halogens have a predominantly minus 1 oxidation state. I am talking for the 17th group. Chlorine, bromine, iodine exhibits plus 2 to plus 5 oxidation state also, in addition to that of minus 1 oxidation state, and all of them are highly reactive elements. Let us discuss about the hydrides, oxides and halides of this p block element. Let us start from 13th group. Element of 13th group forms oxide and hydroxides. Boron forms acidic oxide and hydroxides. However, aluminum and gallium form amphoteric oxide and hydroxide. This is the property for the gallium has been shown. It is forming Ga2O3 gallium oxide, that is amphoteric in nature. Indium and thallium forms basic oxide and hydroxide. Boron trihalides are covalent in character due to their small size. Fluorides of aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium are all ionic in nature, while other halides like chloride, bromide and iodides are covalent and anhydrous in nature. When hydrated, all these halides give away plus 3 ions, thereby making them ionic in nature. This is the presentation for the covalent. For the boron reacting with the chlorine, it is forming boron trichloride, which is covalent in nature. On the other hand, this aluminum is reacting with fluorine and forming aluminum fluoride, which is ionic in nature. So, depending on the individual, it may be covalent or ionic. The elements of 14th group forms hydrides of type MH4, like for carbon the CH4 are covalent in nature. though the thermal stability of these hydrides decreases from carbon to lead, means if you move from top to bottom in the group from carbon to lead, it is going to decrease. They form tetrahalides like CCl4, carbon tetrachloride used as solvent, silicon tetrachloride likewise. The elements of 15th group form hydride of type MH3 like ammonia. They form two types of halides, MX3 and MX5. With the exception of bismuth trihalide, all the others are covalently bonded. Let us see the metallic and non-metallic behavior. The metals are electropositive in nature. They readily form positive ions by the loss of electrons. The non-metals are electronegative in nature. They readily form negative ions by the gain of electron, that is for the non-metals. On moving across the period, metallic character decreases, whereas non-metallic character increases. It takes place because on moving across the period, that is in the periodic table from left to right, the atomic size decreases due to the increased nuclear charge because of the pull of electrons towards the nucleus, and hence the ionization energy increases, means more energy is required to remove the electron. Therefore, the metallic character decreases and the non-metallic character increases when you go across the period from left to right. On moving down the group, the another half of the discussion, the metallic character increases, whereas the non-metallic character decreases. It is because on moving down a group, the atomic size increases. As a result, the ionization energy decreases because size is getting increased, so less energy is required. So, on moving down from top to bottom, the ionization energy will obviously decrease, and hence the tendency to lose electrons also increases. Therefore, metallic character increases and the non-metallic character decreases on moving down the group. The metallic character increases as we move down the 13th group from boron to thallium. Boron is non-metal, while all the other elements are metallic and also are having good conducting properties for electricity. The change from non-metallic to metallic character with the increase in atomic number down the group is best observed in the elements of 14th, 15th and the 16th group. In the 14th group, carbon and silicon are non-metal, germanium is metallide, tin and lead is metallic in nature, means on moving down within the same group, the two elements are non-metal, one of it is metallide and rest two are displaying the metallic characteristic. Similarly, in the 15th group, nitrogen and phosphorus, the first two elements are non-metal, the next two elements arsenic and antimony are metallide and the bismuth in the bottom is having the metallic property. In the 14th group, two elements are metallic, in the 15th group, one element the bismuth is metallic. Let us see the 16th group. 16th group, the chalcogens, oxygen, sulfur and selenium are non-metallic in nature. The tellurium is metallide, polonium is metallic and polonium is a radioactive element. The 210 polonium has the half life of 138 days. The metallic character increases as we move down the 13th group from boron to thallium. Boron is non-metal, while others are metallic in nature. The halogens are non-metal. Astatine is probably a black solid having a metallic appearance if it is a metallide or a metal. It is a radioactive element and its all isotopes have very short half life of 8.1 hours or less, decaying into bismuth, polonium, radium likewise. The metals in p block elements are shiny as per the nature of the metal, usual nature. These are good conductors of heat and electricity and they have tendency to lose electrons easily. Generally, these metals have high melting point and readily react with the non-metal to form ionic compound. Such type of property has been revealed with the p block elements regarding the metals. Metallides are usually known to have properties of both metals and non-metals. All of the metallides are in the p block: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony and tellurium. The silicon is the most famous metallide. It is main ingredient in glass and widely used to make microchips for computer and other electronic devices. It is metalloid silicon. Germanium has properties very similar to silicon, yet this element is much more rare. Arsenic is a toxic metalloid that has been used throughout history as an additive to metal, alloys, paint and even for the purpose of makeup. Let us discuss about the diagonal relationship, which is a very specific and exclusive property revealed in the elements. On moving down across the period from left to right and going slightly one period lower, you will find the similar size and electronegativity value, which is having the diagonal relationship in the some of the properties. Let us discuss what is the diagonal relationship. The diagonal relationship basically means that these elements show some similar properties. It exists due to similarity in size and electronegativity of these elements. As we move down a group, the atomic size increases, as I have discussed, due to the addition of the orbitals on moving down, but it decreases when you go from left to right in a period. So, diagonally placed elements possess nearly same size and electronegative character just adjacent at the diagonal. Because of this, they have shown a similar property. This is the presentation for the diagonal relationship. This lithium and magnesium is having the diagonal relationship in their properties because their size and the electronegativity is comparable. This lithium is in the first group and magnesium is in the second group, and they are lying in the different period, the lithium in second and the magnesium in the third period. This is the diagonal relationship observed with the beryllium and this aluminum. It is having diagonal relationship. This is present in the p block, and in the p block itself, where the both elements are present, that is the relationship in the properties of boron and silicon. It is the same presentation for the diagonal relationship. In fact, it matters because a great number of important chemical properties are depending on the size of the atom. Most important perhaps is that the size of an atom influences how strongly the outer electrons are held. A great deal of chemistry depends on this because the chemical reactions depends on the transfer or sharing of the electron, which again depends on the size. Similarly, on moving across the period, the element becomes progressively more covalent, less basic and more electronegative when you move across the period. Whereas, on moving down the group, the elements become more ionic, more basic and less electronegative. Thus, on both descending a group and crossing the period by one element, the changes cancels each other out, and element with similar properties which have similar chemistry are often found. The atomic size, electronegativity, properties of the compound of the diagonal members are somewhat similar. There is diagonal relationship between lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum, boron and silicon that have an adjacent upper left, lower right relative location in the periodic table. Let us discuss the diagonal relationship between the boron and silicon. Both of these elements are lying in the p block. Both boron and silicon are typically non-metals having high melting and boiling point, nearly same density, low atomic volume and bad conductor of electricity. However, both are used as semiconductors. Boron and silicon are both forming halides that are hydrolyzed in water and have acidic oxides. Both possess closer electronegativity value. Boron is 2.0, silicon is 1.8 adjacent to this. Both of them do not form cation and form only covalent compound. Both form numerous volatile hydrides which spontaneously catch fire on exposure to air and are easily hydrolyzed. Both exist in amorphous and crystalline state and exhibit the allotropic property. The chloride of boron and silicon are liquid, fume in most air and readily hydrolyzed by water. This is how this boron trichloride is getting hydrolyzed. This is the silicon tetrachloride getting hydrolyzed. Both form a weak acid like boric acid, silicic acid. The carbides of both boron and silicon are very hard and used as abrasive. Both the metals and their oxides are readily soluble in alkalis. This is the solubility of boron in sodium hydroxide, the strong alkali, and it is the solubility for the silicon in sodium hydroxide. It is forming Na2SiO3. Both of the borates and silicates have tetrahedral structural units, and the acids of both of these elements form volatile esters on heating with alcohol in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. This is the reaction with alcohol, and it is the reaction of silicon hydroxide with the alcohol. Let us conclude. We have discussed about the occurrence of the p block elements. Some of it is occurring as free state, some of them are having the combined state occurrence. This p block elements is having the wide applicability in the day to day life. We have discussed about the electronic configuration, where the electrons are getting added continuously with increment of 1 electron from 13th to 17th group. That is why the second property is getting generated, the increase in the atomic size. When you go down in the period, down in the group, then you will find that atomic size is going to increase. Conversely, when you move across the period from left to right, atomic size is going to decrease because of increase in the nuclear charge. The converse behavior is being seen with the ionization energy. The ionization energy is going to increase from left to right, but it decreases from top to bottom moving in the group. The electronegativity has been discussed. Fluorine is most electronegative element in the group, followed by the oxygen and nitrogen. Most of these elements are having the allotropic properties. The red phosphorus, white phosphorus, the allotrop of phosphorus, the monoclinic rhombic sulfur, the allotrops of sulfur. The wonderful properties with the carbon is being seen right from the graphite, diamond and fullerene. These are the widely used allotrops. The catenation property is well discussed and seen in case of carbon. It is able to form a very long chain of the carbon. It can be laterally attached and linearly getting attached. So, catenation is also the well discussed and established property of this group. The variation in the melting and boiling point is having the fixed trend with a slight variation in some of the elements that was discussed. The oxidation state of the elements of p block was discussed, and it was found that fluorine is having the oxidation state fixed as -1. However, the rest of the elements chlorine, bromine, iodine of the halogen are having the variation from +2 to +5, including this -1 state. The hydrides, oxides and halides were discussed. The metallic behavior, how the metallic behavior is been varying, moving down from the top to bottom along the group. You will find the appearance of the non-metal, then metal iode, and in the bottom the metals are being present, having the low ionization energy value and wonderful metallic properties. The diagonal relationship has been discussed because of the comparable size and the electronegativity values. In the next episode, which I will talking about the other properties of the p block elements. Thank you.